And we're back, this time with a prequel. Everything in this episode that you will see happened before the last episode. And much like the Star Wars prequels, don't hold your breath, because it's definitely not better. In fact, if anything, it's a good deal worse. There's a lot more footage in here recorded on a cell phone. So, yeah, it's not fantastic, but still get out, still see some neat stuff, and I still hope you'll enjoy coming along for the ride. Little did I know while recording this that I was fixing to find the biggest termite mound that I had ever seen before or seen since, so it makes this footage way less impressive. But hell, it's still some okay B-roll, and I needed an intro for this video, so deal with it. Our next stop was to be Cahill's Crossing. It's a spot where you cross a river to transition over into Arnhem or Aboriginal land, and it's a very common spot to see wild saltwater crocodiles. I got a little bit of footage of one here sticking its head up just before it dips away. Normally you'd be able to see more, but it wasn't the best day. But it's still cool to see nonetheless.
So we're here on our way for our stop tonight to head down to the Red Center. And on our way, as we were driving tonight in these light showers, we going down the road and I saw this guy. He's crossing the road, so I pulled over and went out to grab him. He turned out to be a cute little children's python. These guys are one of the smallest pythons in the world. They don't get too big, so although they get bigger than this, it's not unusual to find one this small. And they're really common in the pet trade, as their small size and great temperament make them pretty easy for anybody to keep. And they have that nice iridescence on them. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a rainbow-like reflection on their scales. It's nice. They're very chilled out, as you can see. This is a wild-caught specimen, and he's perfectly happy just to be here. Not an aggressive bone in his body. He just wants to go be comfortable somewhere. Maybe get out of this rain. Well, we're going to put him back, and we're going to get out of the rain as well, and keep going on our way to the Red Center, and hopefully more wonders like this await us when we get there. Come on, buddy. Stay off the road this time. Tonight's been a pretty good night. First, while driving down the road, and we're just commuting, we're not even really looking for snakes that much. But first we found a children's python, and now we've got this black-headed python. Two pretty cool examples of Australian pythons, though I'd say this one's much more iconic. This is one of those snakes you really want to find when you're here. They got that beautiful black head, in stark contrast to the rest of their body, which is more of a creamy color, broken up by bands. And it's kind of a color pattern that you'll see repeated in other Australian snakes. Even the inland taipan has a similar color variant. And no one knows exactly why they have the black head. It's theorized that it could be used for getting heat, sticking out in the sun for thermoregulation while the rest of their body's covered up, or that they could stick it down into holes, and when they're looking for their prey doesn't see them as much because, it's black, it's darker in the hole with them. I personally lean toward number 2. You'll actually see on these guys as well, if you can get in tight, it may not focus the cell phone, but they don't have heat-seeking pits on their face. These guys in the Woma both don't have those that other pythons do, because these guys eat more reptiles, whereas other pythons eat more mammalian prey. And these guys are pretty cool. They're not quite as even-tempered as the children's python we were looking at earlier, but still I found more of these guys to be nice rather than cantankerous. You'll find them in the pet trade as well, but nowhere near as common as the children's python, and they actually used to be quite expensive. Just a cool snake to find, and pythons are always nice. They just crawl around on you and have a good time. And this guy's hissing every now and then. It's like he's not upset enough to strike or act mean, but he's hissing enough to let us know he'd prefer to be left alone. But I've never been good at leaving well enough alone. Sorry, buddy. At least we saved him from the road, though. Let's hope we keep finding more. Let's put him back where he's safe off the road. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. Run away. Run away. There you go.
We could have headed straight back and made better time, but I just had to stop here and show my dad all these cool bats. This is the best spot that I've seen for seeing just giant numbers of fruit bats all in one place. They just fill the trees, and they're so thick. And you can constantly hear them moving around and squabbling as you walk through the area. And you can see these guys right here. They're flapping their wings to try to cool down in the heat of the day while they hide in the shade of the tree. And speaking of that squabbling I mentioned, you always hear them. They always sound like they're arguing about something. The first time I heard a fruit bat not sound like it was pissed off at something, it honestly took me off guard. They were outside my house, just like being sweet. And I was like, what the hell? I've never heard them not sound mad. And then here you can see them just, the way they take to the air in these massive numbers. And the sound of their wings just beating just fills the air. It's pretty amazing. And at night, it really stands out in stark contrast with other, like nighttime aerial animals, like bats. They're super quiet. A bat could fly around you, you'd hardly notice. But whenever the flying foxes take to the air, you know it and you hear it. They have no real need to be stealthy in the dark. I mean, they're eating fruit. Fruit doesn't run away from you. But bats have their feathers all lined in a way that helps to dissipate the sound they're making as they fly, so they're nearly silent predators. Having enjoyed the bats, it was time to head back to the cruiser for the next leg of this journey. Upon arriving in Alice Springs, we were greeted with this beautiful view of the sky, and we stopped to grab a bite to eat at Hungry Jack's, and it really got me pumped up and excited for what the rest of this night may hold. The sky was already looking beautiful, with plenty of clouds rolling in. After settling in at the hotel, next order of business was to head out and try to get some good footage. And here we were, heading to the cruiser, and luckily enough, as you can see, the rain had already been coming down. It was definitely shaping up to be quite the good time in Alice Springs. As the water came down, the birds were coming to life. They were already gathering en masse, even in the streets, bathing and drinking.
So on our way out to the Red Center, we've stopped here in Alice Springs, and I was hoping that by the time we got here, we'd be able to see a little bit of rain, some of the first of the wet season, and bring all the animals out and really get to see them. And as luck would have it, as we get here, we start seeing storm clouds and some twisters in the way and changing weather. I thought maybe if I'm lucky, it'll be some rain here. Then as we come in here, it starts coming down on us. There's not much now, it's rather weak, but it's been way thicker. And as you can see all around me, there's thunder and there's lightning off in the distance. You can see it pouring off in other locations with the streakiness in the clouds. So tonight should probably be a good night. I imagine everything's going to be coming out to enjoy this weather, so I think it's going to be a good time.
So, besides from running around shooting B-roll, not much else really happened during the time that we were stopped in the woods here. I did get a neat shot of clouds though, so enjoy. Then we'll be moving right on along to the next step of the journey.
So, nightfall is upon us, maybe a little bit too upon us, should have left earlier, but now it's time to head out and look for any animals that may be enticed by nighttime coming on, and also the early onset of rain out here. It's not every day you get rain in the desert, and we're going to try to exploit that fact to find us some cool animals.
we hit the road with high hopes of some good finds, aided by the rain coming down all around us. And as you can see, we're going through it pretty thick right now, but it's amazingly fickle how quick the rain comes on and then falls right off as you continue to drive. With this fantastic weather all around us, hopes of running into something really spectacular were running high. There we go. We found something. Not exactly what I was going for, but, beggars, choosers, can't beat both. You heard it before. Looky there, we got some cows. Well, while we're here, I might as well drop some knowledge. What little I have about cows, that is. For starters, Australia is home to the biggest cattle farms in the world, measuring in at millions of acres. And one other thing I find interesting about cows is that they're a domestic animal where the wild version no longer exists. It's actually extinct. There's plenty more to be said about cows, from the way they go about digesting their plant-based diet to their effect on global climate change. But, you're not here to see cows, so we're going to be moving on.
So we were out here tonight looking for reptiles, and we finally found one. I think I saw a snake earlier, but went back to look for it, and who knows where it's gotten off to. It's actually raining a bit. That's what we were hoping would bring things out. I wasn't counting on a gecko being the thing that got brought out. But here we got ourselves a little fat-tailed gecko. I wasn't entirely sure their range extended this far out, but apparently it does. This one's got more color than a lot of the ones I've previously seen. More pattern on them. Don't know if you can see that. They got stubby little tails. Pattern on it looks almost like a stone. Then they can go down in a hole and then close that little tail up behind like a door, so you can't get at it. Yeah, cute little faces and fingers too. Well, not the most exciting start to the night, but still something neat to find in the desert, and definitely the best looking one I've seen. So, hopefully there's more to come from here. Whoop, and he's running away. So we finally found a snake tonight. We actually managed to catch. Nothing too exciting, just a little Stimson's python. First one I've ever found though. He's a little cutie, real friendly. You can see why so many people also keep these as pets. Seems like it's just been the time for finding pythons for me. Still haven't really gotten into much of the real red center yet. I'm hoping to make it there further. There's still plenty of plant life out here. That's 2 for this genus, just in this section of the trip. So, pretty neat. He's a little cutie. We're going to get him off the road and make sure he stays safe.
In the end, I'm going to count myself as supremely lucky for being able to arrive in the spot in the desert that I wanted to be when the rain started. But that's more or less when the luck ran out. Only got a few species. I wouldn't attribute any of those finds to the unique weather that was going on at the time. It was just kind of what you'd find normally. And then a lot of it had to be filmed with my phone. So this episode's a bit light. But I still had a great time getting to see all these things and having this experience. And I hope you had fun coming along for the ride. So, Until next time, and as always, thanks for watching. Oh, well, I see you're still here. Thank you for watching to and past the end. I've got a few things to talk about. You got a minute? The video that you just saw was intended for my old YouTube channel, but I managed to forget the password, so I've been forced to rebrand. For a better / longer explanation of what's really going on around here, please click this video. Anyway, I know your time is valuable, and I appreciate you spending it with me. Thanks for watching, and I genuinely hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Anyway, real talk right now, I actually really do need your help here at the beginning, so please smash that subscribe button, do all the things, tell some friends about it if you're willing. That would be awesome. You're absolute legends. Have a wonderful day.